Hi, so today I'm going to talk to you about an activity that I just did that you can do at your home too, that I think is a really helpful tool for helping us think through a little bit of what refugees go through when they come to the United States. So something you may have heard Exodus say in the past is that typically when a refugee arrives in the United States, each person in the family has one suitcase available to them in which they can bring everything that they need to start a new life in the United States. So, for this activity, what you can do is go get your suitcase out of your closet, and then I'm going to challenge you to take 20 minutes and go around your house and pick the things that you would like to take with you if you were going to a new country to start a new life. So I did this activity myself this morning, and I wanted to show you some of the things that I picked out when I was hurrying around my house trying to grab everything that I thought I would need. So, the first couple things that came to my mind were, of course, cell phone and computer. Obviously, so much of my personal and important data is on both of these devices, and so these were the first two things that I thought of to grab. Tuck these in my suitcase. And then, of course, wallet and passport, since this has identifying information that I knew I would need to take with me. Grabbed both of those things. Next thing, prescription medication that I know I need and I take every day, so I wanted to take that with me as well. Then I started thinking about important documents for myself and my family, so important family records, medical information, financial documents. Grabbed all of those for our family and tucked those into my suitcase. And then once I'd kind of covered the really essential things, my mind went to things that were really important to me personally. So this is just one family heirloom that's really important to me. This was my great-grandmother's necklace. And it was the first thing I grabbed. I knew I could fit it into the suitcase, and that it holds a lot of important memories for me, so I grabbed that. Next thing I thought to grab were photo albums, photos that I don't have digital copies of. Wanted to make sure that I would still have access to these. Now I'm encountering the other difficulty of packing a suitcase, which is actually getting it all in there. Okay. I also thought about a journal. I thought I would want to keep track of what was happening to me if I was suddenly having to flee to a new country. And a few favorite books that I didn't think I'd be able to get copies of somewhere else. So tuck these in here. And you probably can't see that I'm already starting to get close to the edge of one side of my suitcase, which is a little bit nerve-wracking. It doesn't take too much to fill a suitcase up. I also wanted to bring a camera. This is important to me both because photography is a bit of a hobby for me, but also because my father gave me this when I was younger, so I wanted to make sure that I took that with me. And then I thought that if I was fleeing, I would definitely want to have things, if I was leaving with my entire family, that would be helpful to keep a child occupied. So for instance, I was thinking if I was fleeing with my niece, I would want to take some of the favorite toys that she plays with, because it would be important for her to have something that's kind of comforting and familiar to her. So tucked in a few of these little guys. So my suitcase is over halfway full now, and I really haven't gotten to very many things that are practical yet, aside from kind of those important key documents in my phone and computer. So then I started thinking about what would I really need to start over. I thought a blanket would probably be helpful. This one was also a gift and also was really warm, so I wanted to take that. Also a nice scarf that I could wrap around me and help stay warm as I traveled. And then clothing items. Just to represent here, we have a few of our Exodus t-shirts to represent clothing items that I might take with me. So I put the red and the teal versions of those. Tuck some of those clothes in here. Put a little one too. Fit my niece. And then some other clothing items that I would want to take. A couple of shirts. Warm gloves. And as you can see, now my suitcase is really kind of overflowing. I'm going to do that thing we always do and try to fit. Here's a nice jacket. Try to fit a few more things in here. suitcase full with just a few of the things around my house that I gathered really quickly. You'll notice there are so many things we use around the house every single day that didn't make their way into the suitcase. And in just a moment, I'm going to show you what some of those things that I could have grabbed are, and also talk a little bit about why donors like you are so important to Exodus. Okay, so in front of me now are some of the items that I didn't think to grab when I was running around my house, but that are definitely things that we need in order to start a new life in a new country. So the first thing I actually want to show, this is actually another family memento that I didn't need to grab. This is my grandmother's typewriter. It's really important to me. It's something that I wish I would have grabbed, but I realized when I was going around my house that if I took this, it would take up such a significant portion of my suitcase that it wasn't practical to grab. And the reason I'm highlighting this is just because I do think it's helpful and important for us to think about the kinds of things that do unfortunately get left behind, even though I was trying to be so strategic in what I grabbed. Sometimes people have to leave behind things that are really important to them and to their families, and that's just a really unfortunate thing about fleeing your home. Other things that I didn't think to grab, I thought I would be really practical about this when I started this exercise, but I didn't think to grab a winter coat or jacket, or any spare shoes or anything like that. Exodus always provides all of our refugee families with winter coats when they first arrive to Indiana, even if they come in July, because you just never know when Indiana's weather is going to change and have that first cold snap of the year. So we make sure that everybody has seasonally appropriate clothes that will help keep them warm throughout the year. And that's really important because I didn't grab a winter coat. A couple other things that I didn't grab, but that I know I would definitely need in a new country. I didn't bring sheets or anything like that for a bed. I did grab a blanket, but no sheets to help keep me safe and warm. Light bulbs. When Exodus sets up apartments for people, we put lamps in every room. And every one of those lamps needs a light bulb in order to keep people able to see in their different rooms in their house. I also didn't grab any cleaning supplies. When Exodus sets an apartment up, we're making sure that every bathroom has toilet paper, that there's an all-purpose cleaner, or some way for people to clean and keep themselves safe and healthy, which has been especially important over the last few years. I also didn't even set foot in my kitchen. So you'll notice a lot of kitchen items in front of me, which we always know that our clients need kitchen things so that they can cook food and feed themselves and their families. So things like bowls or plates or silverware are always things that Exodus can accept as donations, and they're things I didn't put in my suitcase when I went around the house. Tea kettles are really popular with our clients. This is more of a tea, like a decorative teapot, but a tea kettle that can boil water on the stove is really important to so many of our clients. Tea is a really important part of culture for so many of our clients, and I didn't grab anything like that when I was fleeing. A rice cooker is also so important to many of our clients because rice is the primary part of so many people's diets. So this is something Exodus is always looking for when we're looking for donations. And then of course, lastly, in the scenario I mentioned, I imagined having to flee with my whole family, and I did not grab any diapers or baby bed or toys into that suitcase for. Diapers are incredibly important. And Exodus does have a supply of diapers that we give out to new refugees who have just arrived so that they can have everything that they need for their babies. We also have other baby supplies like blankets and bottles and things like that. But diapers, especially larger sizes like 5 and 6, are always things that Exodus needs so that we can get these out to clients when they first arrive. Of course, I also want to acknowledge this is just a fraction of the things that people need in a home when they first arrive. Exodus has a whole list of items that we prepare and put in homes for people so that they can have everything they need to start a new life. You can always check our website at exodusrefugee.org to find a list of the household donations that we're accepting. We update that list periodically as we need different items, as different items come in. So now that you've seen what I did put in my suitcase and what I didn't put in my suitcase, I just want to challenge you to take a little time to go around your own house, think through what you would bring with you to a new country and what you would leave behind. And give yourself the time to try to do this quickly in about 20 minutes or half an hour and really keep yourself to that limit so that you you have time to think about what you